Welcome everybody, I'm here with none other than Cody Bugan, the dirt dog himself, and today we're going to talk about how much he loves single family rentals. So Cody, obviously you have a specialty. A lot of people have been getting into like rental homes, right? Building that passive streams of income. Can you speak a little bit to that and what you've done investing in that space and what you would kind of recommend other people do?
I'm not going to discourage anybody from building a portfolio and owning rental properties. And I don't care what the asset is, because frankly, it's one of the biggest mistakes I've made in my career is I haven't built a portfolio up to this point. With that said, as I start venturing into building a portfolio, the last thing I'm gonna do is own onesie twosie single family homes. That just sounds like an absolute management nightmare. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to own neighborhoods where I own 100 homes all in one neighborhood, and so it's more like managing a multifamily asset. Or I'm gonna own multifamily complexes, because I'm all about scale. Right? I'm also all about return on effort. The biggest asset we have is our time and our energy effort, right? And so I try to manage my time very, very efficiently. But if we start comparing, say, buying single family rentals from an energy or effort standpoint, a time standpoint related to, say, my business model that I do and teach every day, the conversation is kind of over. There's nothing to even talk about. When you look at the energy that you'll put into owning a single family rental, and if you took that same energy and time and put it into my business model, it's like they're not even comparable. I'm a big fan of building a portfolio, but I suggest you get your active income going, you get your liquidity going, you get your capital you're generating, your cash you're generating. Get that really, really rocking, okay? Because then when you start to build a portfolio, you can play or scale at a much quicker pace.
Because, I mean, with your deals, you're talking about, your deals typically take about a year, and you can make anywhere between, mid 6 or 7 figures on a single deal.
You can, I'm not gonna guarantee it.
You can, right.
But yes, I make 7 figures all the time. I have students making 7 figures, so yes, you're right.
So, I mean, if you're doing, anywhere, even if you're doing 2 or 3 deals a year, like, you're making significantly more money than you could buying 10 homes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No question.
It's just not passive.
Well, and to be frank, I'm so glad you just said that word passive. You know what I get tired of? People using the word passive. You know why? You know what passive means? It means you spend no time on it. It means that it's mailbox money. It means that you're not involved in the business at all. And so people use the word passive all the time because they have a residual income or a cash flowing asset. But just because you have a residual cash flowing asset does not mean that it's passive. Actually, quite frankly, most of the time it's still active income because you're in the business working it every day. But with that said, no question, you go own 10 homes and the time and energy, because it's not passive, that you spend managing those 10 homes, even if you have a property manager, that you spend on that versus, in my opinion, the ROE, return on effort, you're gonna see with our model, yeah, it's not comparable.
Are you also building portfolio right now? I know you said earlier when we were talking that you wished you would have built more of a portfolio. What does that mean to you, and what is the ideal situation that you would have with a mix of both the active and passive?
One of the biggest mistakes I've made in my career is that I haven't built a substantial portfolio. Because I've had substantial active income for many, many years, and I haven't done a good job of putting that into a portfolio of real estate that I hold. One thing that you gotta acknowledge though, or that I have to give myself some grace, is that I'm now turning the corner where I'm gonna start another division of my company where we're gonna start building a massive portfolio, and I have some very lofty visions as part of my vivid vision. But what I really got going for me, because I have so much active or liquidity coming in, that I'm gonna be able to scale my portfolio very, very quickly versus those that have a portfolio but don't have a lot of substantial liquidity or active income coming in. Does that make sense? But where I'm gonna really focus is, sure, I'm gonna own some multifamily complexes, but you know what's really key, or at least I've come to realize for myself, because my time is so precious to me, is how do you take what you already do and vertically integrate it? How do you leverage it? So there was a time when I was like, hey, I'm gonna go and start doing value add apartment complexes like everybody else and their mom does, right? Everybody is an apartment syndicator right now. I mean, they're on every street corner. Well, instead of me going and doing what everybody else is doing, where they're going and buying an existing apartment complex and figuring out how to increase the value of it, is why not, okay, I specialize. My AKA these days is Dirt Dog, right? Like, I know dirt, I know land use, I know entitlements, I know how to get developments approved. Why don't I just take what I do every day and just not exit all those deals? Why don't I just start rolling my equity into ultimately owning the asset, right? And holding the asset. So whether that's I go and do a multifamily deal where I get it all entitled, well, then I just bring in a contractor to build it for me, and then I keep it. I can take all that equity or all that profit or that I've created through entitlements, right? And then I just roll that equity into holding the asset. Same thing with single family, which is my bread and butter. A big thing right now in the real estate market is what people are calling BTR, or build to rent, or build for rent. And it's where they're going in and they're building a whole subdivision of homes, say 100 homes, 150 homes, whatever. And instead of selling those homes, they're keeping them all and they're renting out the whole community. And what happens is that's a lot more efficient than owning a home over here and a home over there and a home over there. And so why don't I just start, instead of exiting all those deals, why don't I just leave my equity in the deal, hire someone to come in and build those homes, and then I'm just gonna keep the whole neighborhood. And so through this type of thinking, I don't have to go do anything outside my wheelhouse and my bread and butter and what I do every day and what I'm comfortable calling myself an expert at. I'm just leveraging it.
All right, so if someone were young and starting out and they only have a limited amount of time, where would you tell them to start, and just your advice?
I mean, I don't want to be biased, right? I'm not here to pitch you, but what am I going to do? I'm going to tell you to go to my company VestRight because I started it for PIF, right? Purpose, Impact, Fulfillment. So I'm going to send you to VestRight because I want to have an impact on your life. And VestRight is where I teach exactly what I do every day. And remember, if you're going to learn from someone that actually does it every day. And so, if I was to start all over again, I would go right back into exactly what I do. Exactly what I do. And so me knowing that about myself, I'm going to send you to VestRight to go get educated. Don't try to come play in my space without the foundation or the education needed. And I'm just blessed that I know of. I'm the only one educating and teaching in this space. I don't know of another company out there like VestRight or programs like VestRight has. So I'm going to send you to VestRight.
Yeah, and VestRight's honestly awesome because really what it does is it helps people get excited about active income, which is kind of being lost on us today.
It really has.
And so it's super awesome that you're teaching people how to, develop a unique skill that is very much needed in today's world, to find parcels of land, to take them and get them to entitlements and to get built. And especially with the shortage of homes that we have in America, it's more people need to be in the space, quite frankly. If you guys are interested in getting involved with VestRight, click that link below. It'll take you to the website and you can learn everything there is to know about land development. Maybe not everything, but but pretty close.
You'll learn all you need to know.
Yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you guys on the next one.